Okay, now I want to talk you something different and similarity between Korea and Indonesia about culture. First point is about language. The language different between Korea and Indonesia. In Indonesia, there are tribes and language in each region that are used to communicate. But even Indonesia remains but only one language is spoken in Korea, and the Korea people communicate with the same language in Korea language. Second point is about food. Number one, the food different between Indonesia and Korea. Korea food is served raw because it makes the meat conditional visibly whether it is fresh or not. But in Indonesia, the food will have to be cooked to make it look good to eat. B. Food equality between Indonesia and Korea. Number one, Indonesia and Korea both prefer specific food. Number two, I like to eat instant noodles. Number three, like to eat rice white. 3 point is about holidays and festival. Different between holiday in Indonesia and Korea. In Indonesia, holidays such as the International Days of Agustus 17, 1945, the day of the strong youth of October 28, 1928, and religious holiday like Christmas celebration for Christian, festival for Muslim, and lunar for Konghucu. If Korea commemorate the anniversary of the harvest on the 15 days of the lunar calendar, the holiday of Chuseok is done to celebrate the success of an abundant crop and is preferred commonly with much Korea citizens will be full dressed in such customary attire as handbook. Holiday equation in Indonesia and Korea. The similarity between these countries are that both Christmas holiday calendar because much Korea and Indonesia share a Christian religion. Fourth point is about religion. Religion different between Indonesia and Korea. Indonesia and Korea afraid religion upbringing is because religion is mostly the heritage and upbringing of parents in Korea. The average Korea gets to know religion as an adult. Almost the majority of Korea is neither religion nor atheistic, but some process such religion as Buddha, Protestant Christian, Roman Catholic, and Islam. Religion similarity different between Korea and Indonesia. In Indonesia and Korea, most religions are Protestant, Catholic, and Muslim. 5 point is about traditional local lands. Custom different between Indonesia and Korea. In Indonesia, instant noodles are not needed to use gloves or dishes. In Korea, local people usually in the food to keep the food hot. In Indonesia and Korea, custom equation, Indonesia and Korea, but drank so much alcohol there is gone. Drunk, and this incident was no longer feared as wonder because it had become an Indonesia custom.
Let's continue. Now I want to talk to you about something about differences and similarities between Indonesian and Chinese. The first point is the difference about the language between China and Indonesia. In Indonesia, there are tribes and language in each region that are used to communicate. But even Indonesia remains the official Chinese national language is Mandarin. Mandarin in Malay has meaning of minister. The Mandarin is a leader of the princes, the Chinese princes of the Qing dynasty. It's about the difference and similarities food between Indonesian and China. Chinese food prepared with the vegetables, milk and noodles, or cooked on average but boiling in the Chinese so use chopsticks. But in Indonesia, the food will have to be cooked. Food will to have to be cooked, make it look good to eat. And then in Indonesia, to honestly eat with a spoon. And similarities between the food and China is Indonesian and Chinese usually eat rice and noodles. Third point is about differences and similarities holiday and festival between Indonesia and China. In Indonesia, holidays such as the National Day of Agut in 17, the Day of the Swarm of the October in 28, and religion holiday like Christmas celebration. For Christian, a festival for Muslim and Nurul Day for Konghucu in China. And the similarities between Indonesia and China is Indonesia and China in the country celebrate Lunar Day together. And fourth point is about something different and similarities between Indonesia and China in religion. The different religion about between China and Indonesia is in Indonesia, an average religion of the bringing is because religion is mostly the heritage and upbringing of parents. And the similarities between Indonesia and China is the common denomination between these two countries are of the and the similarities religion between Indonesia and China is the common denomination between these two countries are of Confucianism and Hinduism, Buddhism and Catholicism, Christianism and Islam. And the last point is traditional local differences and similarities between China and Indonesia. The difference is the culture between the two countries, like in each other's ritual, because in Indonesia does ritual differently and Chinese do it their own way. And although the countries have many cultural differences, there is a little in common between the two, which are customary in marriage, because in the marriage they discuss such as setting a wedding date, dressing the room, and doing the wedding. Thank you.
Okay guys, I will explain about material of the different and similar Indonesia in general and the local of K. Before I explain about the different and similar Indonesia in general and the local of K, I want to tell the little of the local of K. Okay, Indonesia, the local of K, same with the city of Bali. Why same? Because the local of K great grandfather from the Bali of city. So I will explain about the different and similar Indonesia in general and the local of K. First is the different language in Indonesia and K. We can see the different language Indonesia and K is if Indonesia use only one language like in Bahasa, and in local of my local use language is language local language okay. So the different language like this, and the same language is the culture use same language. The same language is language in Bahasa. And the second is the different food between Indonesia and the local of K. Okay, this is the picture of food in K. This is you can see this right in enbal in a plate like ENBANL, enbal. You can say like enbal. Okay, and okay. And the second food is vegetable of sir. You can say sir. And similar food between Indonesia and K is K Indonesia same eat rice. Just eat rice. Okay, now the second is the different holiday of Indonesia and K. If you look